All right, people, let's get into this right away. Today's offering is a Norm Nathan show from September 16th and 17th, 1994. I will call this one The Funny Farm Stand. Brian McKinley was producing. It all begins with a Jack Traffic sponsor read for Exxon. Then it's on to the Norm and Tony show, talking about all sorts of fun stuff. And the callers join in. Ruth pumping up the farm stand. Tickets to Michael Bolton, coffee and coffee cake, grilled meats, a python, and Norm just wants to pet a llama. Fred's on the line, and then we jump right to a fun call with Robert from Everett, including classic heckling comebacks. Then we hear from a caller, Lynn, I believe was the name, talking about Sarge, a former Boston police horse with man-o'-war lineage. Linda, who's been laughing for the past hour. An out-of-state caller who has been picking up the show for about a week. And boy, are his arms tired. Clarence talking about the farm stand. Jack in Ottawa. Dan in New York. Fred in New Jersey, who's always in trouble and looking for some grandfatherly advice from Norm. Oh boy, what a subject. Norm's adopted son Raj from MIT. Sarah Nathan and some guy named Jay stops by live. Jim from Indiana. Maryann, who's working at another radio station while calling us. And now I'm on the phone and ranting about a speeding ticket my girlfriend received while we were on vacation together in New Hampshire. Addie from Everett, wearing her gingham apron, suggests a legal defense fund for me. Dottie, who loves the dumb birthday game. B in Braintree, she saw Norm's 2 seconds on TV and asks a pointed question. Eric in Boston, Bill from Chelsea, Betty in Sudbury, Helene from Belmont, who's trying to give up coffee, and Joan. Other farm fresh comedy. Adopt a talk show host. Norm talked right through the bottom hour news at 12:30, but will not accept the blame. I do an impression of Andy Jordan of CNN. Norm grills Jack as to why he didn't stay for the entire Comedy Connection event Norm was part of. Norm also explains his nightclub outfit. Norm pouring his guts out about dancing close. I, however, do not dance, but when I'm home alone. Tombstone epitaphs, Rob Floyd or Ken Newman. And a quick insert of Josh Binswanger introing Jack Hart. Episode 155, The Funny Farm Stand, stacks its way to your ears in 3, 2, and 1.
Credit prices are now the same. Stop by a participating station, apply for an Exxon credit card, and you'll get a free 6-pack of Coca-Cola. Exxon, rely on the tiger.
Nathan, he's my kind of man. I listen to Nathan every time I can. On WBZ in Boston, the Norm Nathan Show. Yeah.
Oh, that's not what it's called.
Auditorium.
Shriners Auditorium, that's right. Up on exit 39 off Route 93. A lot of people ask, where is it? Just think of 93 and then reverse the number, and that's the exit number, 39.
What if someone did it the other way around?
You mean go up exit Route 39, yeah.
Get off at exit 93.
Yeah, you know where they'd end up? In Rehoboth or Seekonk. I made that up. I have no idea I don't even know if they're... Well, anyway, Saturday and a Saturday evening. Increasingly windy and warm with variable cloudiness and a couple of showers. There could be a thunderstorm thunderstorm. Let's see.
Where are you when this?
Where I was Sunday. Was Sunday? Did I say breezy? Notice it for about 7 years now. Yeah.
Would that be Ruth? I guess so.
Okay, do your pitch and get out of here. I'm so sick of this whole thing. It hasn't even taken place yet.
I sound like Robert. You took so long with the weather. I'm already here in my little hotel bed, and I'm almost asleep. But I said,
what do you mean hotel bed? Where are you?
I'm out here at the Shriners.
Is there a hotel near the Shriners in Wilmington?
Actually, back in the Woburn area, but it's only about 5 minutes away.
You have any Shriners in your room?
I beg your pardon?
Those guys with the funny hats. Is there anybody in your room that looks like that?
Actually, there's one of your radio fans here. Oh, it's a lady. We're sharing a room. We have to be up by 4. And, it's not a lot of time to sleep. But listen, though,
who's in your room? Because Tony's getting through soon. And if it's somebody worthwhile, he can go and he says you can watch. Oh, this is being disgusting.
That's great. I like it.
More. Listen, serious. I'll be like Robert. I don't have a lot of time. But
Okay, I'll sit back here and you go do your pitch,
No, I have to tell
okay?
you.
Project.
everything is set up beautifully. But this afternoon, because a very nice guy named Don Law gave me, those are to this Tony, 500 pairs of tickets. 500. Give me a break. Wait a second. I'm very tired. We've been doing this all morning and day and night. I have, 500 pairs. The first 500 people who come in and give me $10 can have 2 tickets to the Michael Bolton concert for tonight at Great Woods.
For Saturday night at Great Woods,
That's
really?
Correct. I got them about 3 o'clock this afternoon.
For $10 they get 2 tickets,
That's
$5
right.
a piece?
That's right. And they're lawn seats. But the first 500 people, so Tony will be there at 5 or 6, right?
Oh, the lawn seats? Nah, never mind.
You don't know, because that's not a bad setup down there.
It isn't.
They're certainly worth that for Children's Hospital.
This is Great Woods.
Yes, but I have the tickets right in my...
Yeah, well, no, that's very nice of Don Law to do that. Yeah, very nice.
Late this afternoon.
Yeah, that and a loaf of bread would be a great buy just to go there for those things alone.
And you can probably buy burgers, maybe. You can buy.
Yeah, you can bring a lot of food with you that you can get cheap at the Farmstand and sit there in the lawn, watch Michael Bolton, have little sandwiches.
That's right. Addie, my voice is getting lower by the minute here. But anyhow, everything is set up. It's beautiful. We got lots of everything, and the Christmas tree shop really outdid themselves this year, more than ever, and they always do. There's the most beautiful baskets of everything you'd ever want to see. We've got all kinds of produce, and we're all ready for the pancakes and blueberry breakfast and the coffee, and we've got the best-looking coffee cakes. I'm getting hungry talking to you.
You can even buy a basket and put everything in the basket and take it to the show.
And we have turkey sandwiches, and we have grilled chicken, and we have hot dogs and hamburgers, and we have 2 bands, no waiting, and we have Norm Nathan. And
I don't care about any of that. I just want to pet a llama.
You can, and we have the python.
You have the what?
A python.
A python.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Oh, when Norm arrives, there'll be a python there.
Yeah. We have Mr. Josh Binswanger said he's coming over, and we also have Mr. Peter Mead coming over.
Well, that is really a treat.
I beg your pardon?
That's really a treat.
Yes, I have my finger in my ear because I have the radio on the other side of this room. But it really is all set up. It really looks good, and we have all kinds of good stuff.
Let's go down and trash the place.
Let's get to mess it up right now.
Let's go down and trash.
When everybody starts coming at 6 or 7 a.m., they'll find everything in shambles.
No, actually, we have 2 security guards there standing.
We'll trash them, too. We don't mind them.
Can you see it in the paper? BZers overpower security guys. Trash Farmstand.
Yeah.
Nice going, Tony.
It's like the Green Day show.
But I really just wanted to say that earlier because I figured more people who are interested in Michael Bolton be listening earlier than they would at 4 a.m. We have the alarm set to call you up at 4. Remember I did that last year? 4 a.m. I mean, when do we sleep here? Never. But we're going to raise a lot of money for the hospital.
Is that a busy woman who's with you?
No. But a lady that we met from All Night Radio was a big fan, and she listens to you all the time.
You don't want to mention her name?
Oh, her name is Laura May. She sounds asleep.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Not hearing a word of this.
Okay. Hey, that's good. I hope a lot of people show up.
Yes, I think they will.
You know what I just did?
What?
I went right past the news time.
Did you?
You screwed me up really badly.
12:29 on mine.
No, we're going to skip the 12:30 news in order that we might finish this conversation.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I just kind of loused up on. That's my fault. That's my fault, you hear? But I'm going to have to... However, if I'm questioning the front office by management, I'll have to blame it on you and Tony.
Oh, that's all right.
And Brian McKinley, because I'm not taking blame myself for anything.
They said they never listen. You said that.
I don't think they do. No, I don't think they even know I work here.
Hold on, there's the phone.
Well, Ed Goldman will be here tomorrow, so watch it.
He will be there?
Well, he was here last year. So
what is he? He's the general manager of radio?
Something like that.
Yes.
Manager something.
I really truthfully, I get mixed up myself.
Yeah.
He and Deb Zion, I don't know quite.
Well, she's general manager of the whole thing, radio, television. She's the really big shot. He's an underling.
He's general manager of radio and station manager of television, something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And also fried clams in season.
Yes.
Something of that nature. Well, I'll get a chance to meet him because he's only been here for about 73 years.
Him?
No, I never met either one of them.
Nice guy.
No, I understand he is a swell guy, a really good guy, and recognizes older talent really nicely.
and actually, we weren't getting too much publicity until somebody I know spoke to him a couple of days ago, and I've seen more ads on this Farmstand
Well,
than ever.
I see Dave Maynard's ads on television all the time.
Yes, I mean, this week it's been very good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we hope we have a good crowd. But let's pray for a really nice
I
day.
hope it's a nice day. No, we always get good crowds.
Yeah, we get good
That's
crowds.
not a problem. It's just that they don't flee home quickly when the heavens open
I
up.
just want to mention one more time, we do have bus service leaving in front of the building at 7:30, 9 o'clock, and 11 o'clock.
Okay.
Shuttle bus. You can get a ride to WBZ. They'll take you right here, and then they will return 10, 12, and 2.
Okay, very good.
Okay, so I'll see you very soon.
Yes, I will be there.
Okay, I'll have the eggs ready.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I do my imitation of Andy Jordan for CNN. I figured, we could fake it and maybe get by.
We'll have to skip to this. I tell you what, let's go right on to the traffic. And I'll introduce Jack Hart and his RCA Bluebird Recording Orchestra with the WBZ 24-hour traffic network. How you doing, Jack?
I'm well. How you doing, Norm?
I'm doing fine. How come the other night?
Uh-huh.
Why don't you, do your traffic report first. I'll talk to you afterwards because people are in their cars and they want to know. And actually, we're doing traffic on the 3s.
Oh, you betcha.
Boy, what a sellout I've become.
Holy smoke. This is the first time I've done traffic on the 3s in I don't know how long.
Fire away, and then I want to talk to you afterwards.
All right.
The other night, you were at the Comedy Connection. Remember we had that thing?
Oh, sure.
Okay, and I saw you before with 2 other traffic people.
Yes.
I didn't see you after I did my shtick. That's an ominous sign. Because there was Paul Elwell, who's a comic, who pretty much closed the show. He was there later at night.
Uh-huh.
And he came over, and I said, boy, you did okay, Paul. I thought he had a funny routine.
Uh-huh.
And he didn't say anything either.
I see.
Did I really stink badly?
Well, you started, and I just got so sick of it by that point that I just up and left.
when I was talking, you mean, when I was doing my bit?
Sure, I figured that the light will be in your eyes, so you'll never see me leaving.
I see. Well, that's fair enough.
No, actually, I left about 9:15 or so because I had to get to my traffic post and prepare all my charts and graphs and computer
What
generated.
baloney this is. Is this pitiful stuff or not?
That was lame.
Yeah, listen, I tell you what.
Yeah.
Let me talk to you later on, okay? Because I'm sick of this kind of dodging a question, because I don't have a good feeling about that at all.
I wasn't even there, and the jokes you tried out on me I thought were pretty funny.
Well,
Then again, I was just
obviously,
being nice.
He might have been really nice on too.
Oh, no, and that's a wonderful joke. Oh, God, he's gone wrong.
Let me see if Fred was. Were you there, Fred?
No, I was not there.
I guess his name, I think his name is Bill Martin. Yeah. Anyway, hold on a minute. He did a shtick, and then he was the host, the MC for the whole thing. He was very, very sharp. Not only did he have a good routine at the beginning, his opening routine, but also he was very clever and very sharp, and he came back with some good lines later on, tying it in with the people who had done their bits. So he was very clever. He was good. Paul Elwell, who we talked to on this program, he did fine. And there was one other guy, and it's awful for me not to remember his name.
That's all right.
But the professionals, they all did well. They did well.
They're professionals, but you are a professional, and you're great at what you do now. First of all, you have a talent, what you do. They came to see you, not to see the professional entertainers.
Honest to God.
The people in there,
Honest
got
to God,
the benefit money.
Yeah.
You believe that?
Yeah.
Oh, they
Why
do.
do you put yourself down?
No, I think some of my lines were kind of funny.
I think you were funny and hilarious. And
funny. Can I tell you my opening? Should I tell the opening line?
Tell me the truth.
You want to
The
tell my
opening
opening
line, how you came on stage.
No, when I came
And the
on
roller skates and the clown nose.
You didn't do that, did
No,
you?
I didn't do that. No.
That's garbage. That's garbage.
But there were a lot of people there who'd heard us talk about it on BZ, who showed up. A lot of listeners. I was so pleased.
That's why most of the crowd was there, not because of what you said on the air. It had to be.
Can I tell my line after the throw up line? No, I said.
Do your routine right now for the people who.
Oh no! I was wondering if they would have taped it. I was going to not only play me, but I play a lot of the others who had some funny lines. No, my opening line. Oh no, this is too fathead.
Oh,
no,
go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead anyway?
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
When your head gets too fat, I'll just open the door. We can it can leak out into the hallway.
And widen the whole studio
That's
so
right.
my head will fit in here. No, I said I do a lighthearted kind of program. I don't usually get involved with very serious issues. But I said last night, a guy called me. See, this was Monday, so this would have been Sunday night. I said it was kind of nice that he called me last night, so it's fresh in my mind. I can tell you about it today, which was kind of hilarious right there. Anyways, he called me and said, hey, Nathan, this is a first-time caller, long-time listener, and I hate your guts because I don't like your political philosophy. You're a leftist-leaning, liberal, do-gooder, bleeding heart. And I wish you'd die a slow, agonizing death and that your body would rot in your own blood for years. But that's not really why I called. I really called because 2 weeks ago you had a woman on your program who had a recipe for deep dish apple pie, and it sounded delicious. Could I have a copy of it? Oh, that is the weakest laugh coming back.
No, come on. No,
I thought that was funny.
I've only heard this 8 times, but
I thought
my
that was...
best friend, please, let me just talk for 1 second.
Oh, okay.
You
You are my best
fantastic.
friend. You're my best friend. Go
You
ahead.
walked out there with the tuxedo, and they only give you about 30 seconds on television. I'm ashamed of BZ that only give you 30. And you walked out.
I wasn't wearing a
You're not
tuxedo.
you're beautiful, you are.
I wasn't wearing
That's
a
why
tuxedo.
you got all the girls after you.
Are you watching Bruce Schwegler? You weren't watching me. You were
No,
watching.
I was watching you.
You were watching Shelby
Because you're
Scott. She
my
had a
idol.
tuxedo on.
Yeah.
I didn't. Well, I didn't have a tuxedo. I never wear a tuxedo.
I saw you with did you put makeup on?
No, just a woman's dress. That's all. It was a mini skirt.
You didn't do that. I didn't see that.
the
on
heels
television.
and the opera hose.
Yeah, and the
You know-
opera hose and the spike heels. That was me with the wig. I always wear a wig. You know what I'm saying?
Norman,
Yes.
you still did a benefit, and it was good. You give your time. You gave your
I
time.
did give my time.
You went down. You showed up,
Yeah.
and you
From
did
then on,
well.
it was
and
downhill.
You did it with honest. You did it like a performer would do it. And
And died along with it.
No, you did very.
No, it was nice. The audience was really nice. They were nice
Of
for
course
everybody.
they were.
I mean, for everybody. And I
Nobody
think we're
heckled
milking
you, did
this
they?
whole thing. Pardon me?
Nobody heckled you.
No, they didn't. It's too bad because I had some really heckle lines.
I know. That's what I told you.
Like, you know what I would have said? I was kind of hoping you'd be there heckling me. Then I would say, excuse me, sir, you're heckling me while I'm doing my job here. How would you like if I came to where your job is, I heckled you, and then slammed the toilet seat right on your fingers?
I
So I
got
was
a
all
funnier
set with a
line.
whole bunch of heckle lines.
I got a funnier line.
Yeah?
Please, sir, let me do my job. Would I come down to your place where you're working? Now, that's another line. I shouldn't say. That's a lady's joke. Why don't you go home, sir? Your cage is clean.
You're my best friend.
No. Now, wait a minute. Here's another one.
Yeah.
I was going to do my impersonation of a jackass, but you beat me to it.
You're my best friend.
Give us one more, Robert. One more. You're on a roll.
One more?
Sure. He's a
I
joke
don't have to
machine.
do this for a living. Remember the old joke, I don't have to do this for a living? I can't do it no more. I can't think no more, Norman.
Okay, listen, I appreciate the call, Robert.
But no,
First time I've ever appreciated a call from you. Okay, I must be softening.
no. The only reason I didn't show up because I do not go where they serve alcohol.
No, okay. No, you're
Now,
forgiven.
now will you believe me now? When I'm telling you?
No, you're okay. I believe you. Of
Because
course.
I promise you I'd come.
Okay, just stop whimpering and whining. Just
Now-
stop doing that whimpering stuff.
No,
I
I
hate
know,
that.
but I wanted to go, but the minute you told me they serve alcohol in there, I said, no way, because
I know
can smell it.
you're going to repeat that 9 more times, aren't you? Your timing is usually impeccable, Robert, and now it's really rotten.
Well, I'm just happy to talk to you.
Okay.
And I know you did well, and everybody else did well, and they give their time for free.
Yes, they did.
Okay,
They did,
and it was for a good cause.
it was very admirable, and it was good to raise that kind of money. Thank you, Robert.
Take care, buddy.
Okay, pal, you're my best friend. I think I clipped him off when I was saying that. We'll take a break, and then we'll take. When you dance,
I don't dance. I'll dance to a slow song. Whether
okay,
it's pop rock or something like that, you know.
Okay, so you sound like me. I'm the same way. I never learned. I never learned how to dance.
I'll hold her close, and we'll just kind of just move her. It's actually just moving slowly and dancing.
The whole point,
When I'm
though.
alone, though, boy, can I tango.
I don't want to be watching, but that's quite true. I mean, there's a slow dance, you don't have to know how to dance.
No.
You just hold and you sway a little bit. But the idea, come closer, because otherwise I don't want everybody to hear this because I'm pouring my guts out.
Okay.
To hold a woman, assuming you're a man. If you're a woman, I guess holding a man. Anyway, or whatever. But holding somebody that you really like close to you while the orchestra's playing nice, romantic, soft, slow song, I think is just so lovely. You know, and a lot of us old guys will say, you know, what about the young kids? They dance, but they don't ever hold each other. I can't see that.
That's the only reason I'll dance is just to do that. It's just to hold the person close.
So even though you were a young guy, the idea of a big band, which may sound hokey to you in a way, but it is a good excuse.
But it doesn't. No. Yeah.
Well, that's really nice. I'm just so glad.
Yeah.
Wonderland just suddenly put the lock on the door without informing people who were there, and they have dancing every week. So it's now has shifted to Caruso's Diplomat up on Route 1 in Saugus, which is not too far from the Wonderland Ballroom in Revere.
They close one down. They open up the Roseland.
Yeah.
And yet you can still dance at Caruso. It's like, well, if the people going up there, why weren't they going?
I don't know.
There's something behind this Wonderland thing.
There may be some people who have, because they were going to close it a few years ago, and they had a tremendous amount of people petitioning to keep it open, and it stayed open. They're talking about selling it to the T, and maybe the T tear it down and use it as an additional parking area. Mosley's on the Charles still has dancing. So there's still some ballrooms that do still have not full orchestras. I think even Wonderland had maybe a 5 or 6 piece orchestra, something like that. No, that's still nice. They were still with 5 or 6 good musicians. You still get the feeling of a big band, and that's kind of nice. A lot of people get a kick out of that, and like that. That's my whole story.
We were together at that. Where was it? What was that place? Lombardo's in Randolph. We went to.
Oh yes.
That was excellent with Bob Batchelder and.
Oh yeah, and then the Hugo.
Baron Hugo band. So kind of a battle of the. Was it Bo Whitaker? He's been there too. That's a big fundraiser for the Musicians Union. I think. Was Baron Hugo? That was excellent. Anyway, that was a nice time.
It was a nice time. Yeah. You know what? Another nice time is I can hardly wait for the Miss America pageant.
Why?
I don't know why. It seemed like it would be funny if I said that, because I think that's going to be one of the most boring things.
He's beyond compare and so debonair. He shines so bright. You're on BZ 103. Oh, please don't turn that dial. Don't do it, please. He makes me smile. Who's that? Your Nathan Show. Yes, but they do that. Yeah. Your Nathan Show. Your Nathan Show.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you. I don't know who that guy was singing in the background, but boy, did he really suck, didn't he? Oh, my. Oh, what a silly way to make a living, especially at my age. I should be a distinguished, like, grandfatherly type, sitting there, you know, stroking my beard and reading old books or something. 7 is at 1 o'clock. Let's take some calls. Was he sired by,
Yes.
he was from Man o' War?
Right. And the reason I'm calling is because if anybody in the Boston area that was familiar with Sarge, he was retired, I think, about 4 years ago. My daughter and granddaughter acquired Sarge a year ago, and they've nursed him back to health. He's doing great. He's riding in pony shows. He's got a couple of second ribbons,
working towards his birth.
Really? How old is he now?
Oh, he's 15, 16 years old.
Oh, that isn't too old, man. He's got a lot of years ahead.
I guess he was kind of worn down.
Well, his activities as a horse with the Boston Mounted Police, that's pretty exhausting kind of stuff. But as a pet and as one entering horse shows, 15 is a good age.
Right. Well, she rode in. They have this Uncle Harry's swap shop book, and she wrote as a 14-year-old that she was interested in the 15-hand high horse, and if anybody had one that she could buy or work out a deal with, because they didn't have much money. And this lovely lady from New Hampshire brought the horse over here to Maine and leased him for a year. And after 6 months, they started paying double and to buy the horse, and she agreed. And so in a year...
So she sold the horse, in other words?
Well, yeah, she just sold it.
Okay, she just... Okay,
Yeah, but I mean, it really, this 15-year-old and the horse are just doing...
She's about 15 hands?
15 and a half.
She's a small horse then.
No.
15 hands is not a very...
I'm sorry, 16.
Oh, 16, okay.
Okay, no, he's tall. He's a big horse, and she spoils him to death, and they take care of each other.
Well, that's nice. That's very nice.
And I just wanted people in Boston to know that.
Well, the people know that, and they're just so pleased to find out.
Well, and I'm so pleased to listen to you when you're on. I wish you were on more often.
Well,
but I've said that before.
Thanks a lot, Maryann. I appreciate that very much.
Thank you.
And what's the name of the horse?
Sarge.
Oh, Sarge, you said that. That's right.
I don't know his official
name. No, that's okay. Just my best to Sarge. If you want to kiss him on the snout, that's okay with me, too.
Oh, I do. He's so affectionate. And he shakes hands he when he wants something, and you give him an apple or something, he raises his hoof and he shakes your hand. and if you don't give him quite enough, he'll kind of shake his hand again, like, more, please. And
oh, that's very cute. That's sweet.
He feeds him apples and carrots.
Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet.
He's great.
Thank you very much, friend.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling. I appreciate hearing from you. Okay, I've never shaken hands or hooves with a horse before that. I can't. It's hard to imagine a horse lifting up his hoof to shake hands with you. Anyway, let's go to Linda in Halifax. How old are you, Sarge? And he paused the ground. That must be a funny joke there.
That's lasted the past hour.
Homeless place for homeless people in Dorchester area. Anyway, she spoke, and there were a couple of comedians, including the MC. And then the first non-professional, that is the first broadcaster, was me. And I was really scared to death. I never had done, I've talked before groups a lot, but I've never done stand-up comedy in a comedy club. And I was really frightened. I had my daughter and a friend and a couple of friends and stuff with me, and they were lovely, so they helped. But you just don't know how you're going to go over. And so when they called me up, I probably expressed the thoughts that everybody had. I know all the others were uptight about it, nervous, and I said, I think I'm going to throw up. But then I went on from there. I thought with hilarious material, but the only thing they ever quoted me on was that opening line. But I think that in a way that sort of set the pace again for the way a lot of people thought. Well, there you are. You have a club. I think it holds about 500 people. It's quite a big club. They've had some great names in the Comedy Connection to Faneuil Hall.
Yeah.
And then suddenly there you are on stage, hoping to make people laugh. And anyway, I'd love to try it again. I'd be more relaxed next time, but I had never done anything quite like that before.
Yeah. It's always hard to be first.
Yeah. So I really admire everybody who said they would do it. Not only because they were helping a charitable situation, but also because it takes a lot of guts to do that.
Yeah.
And a lot of them were really quite good. And I really admire them for trying. They were okay.
So did Shelby Scott do a weather report or something?
Yeah, they did some. I think they had a shot of her on television. Josh Binswanger pouring confetti on her, when she's out there covering these big snowstorms out on the highway and stuff. And there were some very funny lines by a lot of the people who were there. And
Good. I'm glad it went over well.
Bruce Regler had one funny line in which he said, something about when there's a tornado approaching. He always says from the U.S., the National Weather Service says there's a tornado approaching. He's always wanted to come on camera and say, "Run for your life, or we'll all be killed," or something like that. That required a little acting. His acting was better than mine, but everybody had some line pertaining to what it was they did on camera.
Yeah.
And they were good. Anyway, I'm starting to mumble it, but I admire everybody there because they didn't have to be there. They said, "Okay, we'll do it." Then they must have been scared out of their minds, like I was.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
The rest of them all carry syndicated or network stuff, so you hear the same people across the dial, no matter what station you pick up, and it's always, "I think, you know what I do, Hillary, and I think she ought to be drowned, and he ought to be," and the people start screaming and yelling, and I thought, just for, especially this time of the night, maybe we just giggle a little bit and take it, lighten up a little bit. And that's the whole idea of what I do anyway.
Well, it's been coming in for a week or so, and I've heard you cut off a couple of people that called up and wanted to be kind of intense and bash President Clinton and all that kind of crap. And I kind of, these other stations, there's always all these gun fanatics and neo-Nazis and stuff. And
you sound like you have the same political philosophy I do, because that's the way they sound to me also.
I have to ask you something else. I obviously you have some kind of following, and I don't know anything about you other than I just picked you up on the radio, but are you from Brooklyn?
No, I'm not. I'm from Massachusetts. I was born in Boston.
Okay.
And grew up in the suburbs of Boston, and I still live in this area. I live about 25 miles north of Boston, where I've lived for many years. No, my folks both were born in Massachusetts also, so we're kind of natives of Massachusetts. Why Brooklyn? Do I sound? Do I have an accent with that?
I had a professor. I went to graduate school in Berkeley, and I had a professor from Berkeley that was from Brooklyn, and you sound...
No kidding.
And I never had seen anything like it. I called Dave, and when they got there, my son, of course, and his wife takes care of it. I told them they had to get plenty of help to unload it. And they said they have never seen anything like it in their life.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Apparently it's going to be a really great one.
Oh, this year is going to be a great thing, and I wanted the listeners to know it because they can get their Christmas gifts and showers, and there's some of them that absolutely will be the first time they've been seen.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I'll remind people again, the Farmstand is at in Wilmington at the Shriners Auditorium, and it's off of Route 93. Just take 93 to Route 39. Just remember those numbers and reverse them for the exit number. And there you are. And we had a big gang of people last year, and the last couple of years the weather wasn't too great. But this year, there is a threat of a possibility of showers and stuff, but I just have this great feeling it's going to hold off, maybe at least till afternoon. But it all begins around 6 o'clock in the morning, runs till whenever we're out of stuff, which could be 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So would you be down there too, Clarence?
No, I won't be able to go. I'm 91 years old.
Oh, my. That's right. I remember you telling me that. You sound a whole lot younger than that.
Yeah.
And you don't have any trouble with your hearing or anything.
Oh, no, but I am legally blind.
Yeah, because even then, usually when you get to be 91, I'd have to talk to you like this, but obviously you don't have to. You're okay.
No, I wasn't legally blind. I'd be up there helping them. They worked until darkness tonight getting us ready, and my son and my daughter-in-law, they're going to be there at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
But I thought that this was so important that they know it, because it's very, very hard to get some nice looking puns. And you want to look at it later today, give it another punch to let people know, because this could be the best thing that ever happened for the hospital.
I will bring it up again later in the morning too, because I'll be out till 5 a.m.
Where the hell are you going to put a wolf? I got the land for it. I wouldn't put a wolf there. No, that's Joe from Quincy, the intense guy with the chickens and stuff.
Well, remember we had someone on from, yeah, this is the right one, yeah, from Wolf Hollow in Ipswich.
Oh yeah, but I mean, this guy is in the business with that kind of stuff. You know, he handles all kinds of exotic animals. No, but I mean, he's talking about our listeners, many of whom he figures some of whom might want to adopt a wolf.
Yeah.
You know, the way you would.
Backyard. You know, it's about 14 by 12. That's a lot of running room for a wolf.
Could jump up and down if it could.
I don't know what my cat would think.
I can just see your cat, with his back all humped up, making these vicious noises with its claws extended 19 feet beyond normal.
That'd be nice though. Yeah, you get a wolf on a hot winter night. I'll be all right. On a cold winter night, you gotta. Well, I'd rather have a woman, but if the wolf was there, that'd be okay too to snuggle up to.
No, actually, it's dogs. Like in 3 Dog Night.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying if I don't have a dog, I'll settle for the wolf at the foot of the bed. That's even better. You think if it gets a full moon, it'd make a lot of noise? Start baying at the moon?
You're as nutty as Joe is.
Yeah.
No, but he mentioned the wolf last week, and I told him I didn't want to talk about that. It didn't make any sense looking for people who want to adopt wolves. I didn't think they were that, although I got a call or two afterwards, I guess, from people who said, what about those wolves?
See?
But I just hung up on him again, so that's the end of that. Till next week, he'll bring it back up again. I know he will.
All right, well, I'll wait until then. If he still has it, maybe I'll look into it a little further.
In the meantime, what we'll do? We'll go to Jack in Ottawa, Canada.
Oh, Jack.
Oh, hi, Jack.
Hi, how's it going?
It's going okay, Jack. I was hoping you'd tell me that. I was hoping you'd say, I'm listening to you up in Ottawa because it's going so great, I wanted to get in on it.
Yeah. Well, about the wolves, I think he was... Last week, I think he said something to say about the wolf kill in British Columbia. I think that's terrible and cruel, but I think it's even more cruel what he was suggesting about adopting wolves.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Adopt the talk show host.
That's right, and they'll build a little corral, a little paddock for me. I can run around.
They'll build a little studio for you.
And, I can yell at the walls without anybody ever hearing me.
I'll put a cardboard microphone up there for you, make you feel at home in your waning years, and that's all.
And I'll probably be so dense by that point, I won't even know I'm not on the air.
You had mentioned about tombstones one time.
Yes.
And gravestones, whatever. What about, if you die, you said, he did. Well, we can't say exactly what you said.
That was a routine I was going to use the other night. Yeah. I didn't.
Oh, you didn't use that?
No, I didn't use that. I don't know because it had to use a bad word, see?
Yeah.
And I still find myself unable to do that. Because I work, come close, I want everybody is.
Yeah.
I work terribly clean.
Do.
Unfunny, but clean.
Unshaven, but clean.
Unshaven, and because I was thinking if you had something on your tombstone that was X-rated, that was a kind of a tough word, like, this guy spent his entire 50 years in broadcasting and never slung bull, bleep. Okay, then I thought, would there be a problem with that, with the cemetery?
Mm-hmm.
Would they say, we don't take those kind of words? I mean, we're dignified. We don't allow obscene words on tombstones.
Mm.
And then my heirs could then fight it and bring it up to the Supreme Court, and I could be, even while dead, after I'm dead, I could be the subject of a whole Supreme Court decision. I could live a little bit longer in a sense that way.
And your name probably wouldn't be mentioned in the decision. It would come down, and others.
But did you see the other story? There was a story out of, I can't remember where it was, England or someplace. It wasn't, now this was not an obscene word, but a woman buried, I think, her husband, and she called him Tom, and she wanted the name Tom, whatever his last name was, on the tombstone. And there was a religious cemetery. I forget what the sect was. But the man who ran the cemetery would not allow Tom. He said it's a dignified cemetery, and it should be his full name. Thomas, the middle name, and the last name.
Kidding.
And she said, I've been married to this guy for years. I never once called him Thomas. Everybody knew him as Tom, and so on. So he made her he recast the whole stone so that it would come out
Thomas and not Tom. I thought, isn't that kind of funny? Because I was just thinking about that in a different level.
That's ridiculous.
I thought that was kind of stupid. I think there's a petition out now to get rid of this clergyman, who's in charge of the cemetery.
They have nothing better to do.
Yeah, isn't that? I mean, you can't use a name that people call you by because it's not your formal name. So therefore, get that tombstone out.
They have yours as a couple for you. We can put Norm, Lance, Nathan in there.
Well, what would you like? What would you like on your tombstone? I know this sounds grisly, but it's not. I think a lot of people talk about this, and we were talking about. Was it W.C. Fields who on his tombstone had said, was it a Robert Benchley? It said, "On the whole, I'd rather be in Philadelphia." Or somebody else said, "See, I told you I was sick." So I think those are real epitaphs. I think.
Considering how the career would progress, and if I was on the air, I'd like my tombstone to say off the air when I'm dead.
Off the air.
Off the air.
He's off the air for good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would like that to say that. Yeah.
I would like on mine to say, he saved the world for democracy.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be true, does it?
You're right. Now that would be a problem.
Yeah.
Not only now, fine, you don't have any swears written on there, but now it's a lie. Sorry, you don't accept lies on tombstones either.
Maybe that same guy will be there, yeah. Yes, I'm trying to think of something even more profound, but something along those lines would be kind of nice, yeah.
Could carry the whole
world will never be the same because of his courage. As a result of his courage, something like that.
And everyone would laugh when they went up. That's nice. You'd leave. You'd leave with a smile. Leave this world a little sillier than you found it, and you'd still be doing it with this tombstone like that. Yeah. Maybe we could use that because we'd still know you're so full of crap. It's funny.
Maybe that could be the tombstone. He left this world sillier than he found it.
Very nice.
What if I could talk my daughters into putting that on my tombstone?
If not, I'll go up there and spray paint it on there. Nice.
Okay. Let me take some more phone calls.
Would they consider that some kind of hate crime if I, did that to your tombstone only I said something nice about you?
No, they'd probably lend you the paint. I know those folks up there at the Oakdale Cemetery in Middleton. I know what they're all about.
They'll lend me the paint.
He lived his life as a woman. Maybe somebody will spray paint that out there. I don't know where that came from. I tell you, I don't really know.
That would be pretty good.
Would that be?
That would be. Yeah. How about this? I'll go up every week and change it.
Yeah, have a different. Yeah, why does it have to be? What is it? Carved in stone?
Exactly.
Let me talk with Dad in New York. See if he's as silly as we are.
Going away.
Disconnecting.
Whatever it was turned out to be dead air. I don't know who that was.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Arlene's our former sex phone operator.
Well,
that's right. Yeah.
Well, I knew her. I had an insatiable crush on her.
You had an account. Come on.
No, 22 years ago at a summer camp.
Wow.
And I lost contact with her. She went on to college, and I went on wasting time and doing everything. I just recently got back in touch with her this July.
Yeah.
And I promised her that at some point I would call the show, and I said I would either mention her name or if I was in the mood and if no one was silly enough, I'd rave uncontrollably. But I've decided to just sort of mention her name.
Okay. Well, okay. Yes. No. That's now. What does she look like? Because she worked for Sexline, did she not? One of those.
Yeah, she did work that kind of. But unfortunately, I'm blind as well, so I don't know what she looks like.
I don't know. Maybe she let you run your hands all across her face. Can you pretty much picture somebody doing that?
No, I wouldn't.
Have you been blind long?
I've been blind all my life.
Okay, and there's no way you can. Would there be some blind people who could do that? Just run their fingers along a woman's face or a man's face and sort of get a rough idea?
If they felt that feeling of the face was going to give them additional insight, I don't do that myself. People, have asked me, for example, you want to feel my face? I'd rather not. Very much.
I thought it was an attractive lady like Arlene. You said you had a crush on her.
Well, yeah. Well, now that's a little different. If you're intimate, then you might kind of do that. You're both fooling around.
And let me ask you this now. You say you've been blind since birth.
Yeah.
So you've never seen colors.
Nope.
Now, because I asked George Shearing, you know that name?
I know of him, and I saw him at an assembly hall at Perkins School years ago.
I asked him once the same question about how you describe color. I said, you know it when somebody says red or green or yellow?
I haven't come up with an adequate way to describe or even understand them. The only thing I can liken colors to is the quality of sound.
Like in what way? For example, if I said red, how would you describe that in by sound?
I guess that red might be kind of like a sort of a loud, forceful kind of sound, but I'm not really sure.
You're right. Actually, that's pretty much the way George Shearing described it. He said, like fiery, although you wouldn't know what fiery meant.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. But he said it kind of bursts out at you.
Yeah.
And yellow is more subdued, although somewhat loud. But green was very gentle, along with blue. Would you describe colors in those ways?
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Can you tell a room the size or shape of a room, by, say, clapping your hands to get the feedback from the walls?
Sometimes when I walk into a room, there's a tendency that some blind people have that the professional heavies have chosen to call facial vision. And the way it works is your auditory senses pick up the echoes and various things about a room. Or if someone walks right by you fairly close, you might sense that something went by. The mobility people and all this refer to it as facial vision.
Okay. Did you have a seeing eye dog or anything?
No, I don't. I use a cane.
Okay. Is there any reason you don't use a dog?
I have some very, very close friends who have a dog. Perhaps later in my life I might possibly consider it, but right now I'm still rather enjoying banging around with it with a cane. I don't even know quite why. I mean, I'm not a wild animal lover or anything, but I do like animals well enough. But I've never had one of my own.
How about a wolf? We got a wolf?
Yeah, we get you.
Well, a guide wolf would be an interesting concept.
That's right. A seeing eye wolf.
Yeah, you see that in a mall?
Or what about a lion? Wouldn't that be great? You're walking along with a lion?
Well, actually, we were working on several ideas. One of the ones we came up with was a guide hyena.
Now we're doing our imitation of a hyena right there with our laugh. Now, that's interesting, because just one note on George Shearing again, because at one time he would not have he mentioned this, because I did interview him when I did a jazz show quite a lot, and he said he didn't want a guide dog at that point, because he said people would notice he was blind. And I said, what do you think they're thinking when you're going around with a cane, or when you got your arm in somebody else's arm and they're guiding you? And later on, he got a dog. He said it was kind of silly, that kind of stuff.
Well, it's funny. I mean, a friend of mine who had recently lost her sight several years ago was apprehensive about carrying around her cane, until a friend of ours pointed out, look, the cane doesn't solve all the problems, but it clears the paths.
It sure does.
People see a cane coming, they split, they run for the hills.
You sound like you're a fascinating guy, Dan. I appreciate talking with you.
Well, it's been fun and it's been interesting. It was neat kind of listening on it, because I called up and I was like, oh, you just hit the news break. Oh, boy.
Well, you hung in there, and I appreciate that, too.
Okay, great.
Take care of yourself. Thanks for the call.
Thanks.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. This is our friend Fred in New Jersey, who gets himself into all kinds of scrapes and things. Hello, Fred.
What is it this week?
Hi. I'm trying to avoid getting into a scrape. That's why I called you for some grandfatherly advice.
Oh, you couldn't be fatherly advice. It has to be grandfatherly. Are you going to go the whole route? You devil. That's okay. Go right ahead.
I'm going to be 31 in November.
Oh, that's a problem right there.
My friend, I have a friend who is 77 years old. She looks a lot younger than that. I would say you would probably take her for being in her 50s. I've known her for a couple of years. We never have done anything sexual.
You better hurry up.
She now wants to, and I declined, and she offered me money. Is there something wrong with anybody accepting money from an old older woman, a man accepting money from an older woman.
Are you making this up, Fred? I always have a feeling you're making up stories.
He has a story every week.
How could I make this up?
Okay, listen. Do you want to have sex? I would take a shit. I mean, I don't know that there's any difference in a way. If you turned her down and said you can't take money from her, you like her too much, she's a nice lady, but you just don't want to do that. I think you would at least be honest with her. But if you're going to take the money, what does that make you? And what does that make her? She's willing to pay. No, I that's my guess. I don't know. Not being a 77-year-old woman, I don't know what will go through her mind. But I would think just be honest with her and say you don't feel like it. You know, unless you really need the money that badly, do you?
If I told her I loved her and took money from her, I think that would be sinful.
Yeah.
But if it's just an agreement for tossing the hay, I don't think it's.
Well, does that make you less of a hooker because you haven't, you would be a hooker, would you not? I mean, how can you rationalize that?
But I'm not looking for this. I didn't go out looking for this. I didn't solicit her.
No, but you want to take money. What's the difference?
I'm not necessarily. I wanted to know what your viewpoint was. Does it make me a bad person if I take the money, or does it make me a worse person if I turn her down?
No, I think if you turn her down, I think you're being honest with yourself.
But I really like her.
And if she's a decent lady and, reasonably attractive, she looks like she's in her 50s, you say.
Yeah.
I can't imagine why she can't find a man who'd be willing to have sex with her without being paid for it.
What stops you?
I don't think she wants another man. I think she wants me.
What stops you now?
What stops me from what?
From having sex with her now.
Because I really don't. I really consider myself a friend, and I like her as a friend, and I really don't want to have sex with her.
Then just tell her that you just consider her a friend. Just be honest.
I think I might hurt her more. I'm wondering if there's an easy way out.
Yeah, you could leave the country and never leave a forwarding address. No, I would tell her. I'd be straight out and honest about it. I would, and I think. I don't think you're gonna soothe her feelings by taking money.
Exactly.
How much money would you take? How
much money is she offering?
She offered quite a bit. I would rather.
No, I would not take money for that.
She's very well off. Her money's no problem with her.
Does that make you think that it's possible that it's because she's asking this of you that maybe she's asked it of someone else?
That maybe she's after what?
That she's asked it of somebody else, that she pays for it anyway sometimes?
I don't know if she pays for anybody else.
But mainly she wants you.
Yeah.
But do you think there's something wrong with an older man who takes a younger girl out and buys her dinner and, buys her clothes, maybe gives her an apartment or something? And I mean, this happens all the time.
Yeah, I mean, if that's why she's having sex with him, because he buys her dinner, because he buys her clothes...
Well, sometimes they get married.
Well, no, I mean, I don't look upon that too favorably either.
I mean, Charlie Chaplin got married when he was, 81? To somebody who was...
Something like that,
32 or something like that? I mean, is this really wrong?
No, I don't know. Why did she marry him? Remember there was a story in the news not long ago about a 30-year-old lady.
Nicole Smith, the Playboy
woman, right? 20-something, and she married a guy 90 or 80-something, way up in the 80s. No, I think there's something kind of disgusting about that.
Norman, this woman might think that if we do have sex, even if I took the money, that then I would maybe fall in love with her and be her lover. So, when I say I might hurt her no matter what I do.
Yeah. Well, I would not take the money, and I would be up front with her about that. And I don't know whether you can even perform the sex act. Can you, if you don't feel any great sexual arousal? How are you going to do that?
I could fantasize.
Okay, hey, listen. I told you what I think. I got to go because there's news coming along, Fred. Let me know what you finally decide, and I still think he made the whole thing up. I don't.
Even if he made it up, it's fodder for conversation. That's for sure.
I would feel that there are going to be people going to call, and this is going to be one of the topics for a little while.
Well, I've seen your checkbook, so who are you to talk?
Get out of here. I'd say, and I sound like I'm going to do a whole stand-up routine here. No, I mean, he ought to, if he's really a friend of hers, the best thing he could do would be to have sex with her and not charge her. And pretend he really is enjoying himself while he's fantasizing. Would that make sense? Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that. If my mother could hear me talking now, she'd wash my mouth out with soap. You said sex. Oh, no, she said, you said sex on the radio. What has happened to you now, man? Okay, we have some open lines. Plus, we have a couple of spots. I guess, anyway, we can can use some people for the dumb birthday game.
Who has a lot of courage and who stands up for people that don't have as much strength as he does, and really fights for the American way. And I'll show you some naval lint.
You know, when you start talking like me, you're in very bad trouble, kid.
I always thought that was a pretty bad sign. But I got to tell you what we did tonight, though, Norm. My entry here at the dorm here, we're organized into like 5 or 6 entries. And we went on a Spirit of Boston cruise.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a beautiful ship, a boat, whatever they call that. It's a lovely vessel.
But I have to tell you, we went on a cruise, and actually what happened was, oddly enough, we got the same waiter that we did last year, because it was kind of an annual event.
Oh, yeah?
And, but the thing that really, we like the cruise, we like the dinner, it's nice, and they have dancing at the end and whatever, but they do some really, really cheesy show tunes in the middle.
Yeah, like what?
Like, just sort of, they're not show tunes, they're just kind of like one of those, random medleys that you often see on like, kind of stage shows.
Yeah.
And it's really extraordinarily bad. And it's just kind of, it disheartens us.
What kind of a group they have? A little 5 or 6 piece or a smaller group?
No, they have a 3-piece band.
Yeah.
A drummer, a keyboard, and a bass guitar. Yeah. And then they have all the waiters and waitresses are also supposedly sort of kind of actor singer wannabes or whatever. And so they all do all the singing too, in addition to doing the wait staff kind of duties. And so in the middle of, they'll finish one course of dinner or something, then boom, they'll go up and do a whole medley or something.
Oh. Well, now, did you have a date?
Yeah, in fact, we had what's called a blind date. We call it a blind date semi-formal.
A blind date semi-formal?
Which we take whoever's signed up and we kind of draw out of a hat.
Oh, really? And that's how you get your date?
That's right.
Do you dare tell me how you made out? No, I don't mean made out, you know what I mean? I mean, so far as
what a choice of words.
I mean, the young woman that you got.
Oh, it was fun, but she I think she already has a boyfriend, and so she kind of, after dinner, kind of scooted away or whatever.
Oh, she scooted away.
But I had a good time anyway.
Oh, that's good, because I can't imagine anybody scooting away from you, Raj.
Oh, God knows,
Okay.
In fact, at this rate, I might have to get some advice from Fred there.
Yeah, I still think he makes up those stories. He just comes up with one of those every week, which gets to be a little kind of crazy.
Yeah, either he's making them up or he's really, really busy. I don't know.
Oh, that's true. I mean, if it's really happening, these things are really happening to him. What an exciting life that'd be. He ought to. I hope one day he's thinking about publishing his memoirs.
That reminds me. Did you have? You had the stripper on, right? Your friend.
Oh yeah, my friend. My friend. My friend, the stripper, as a matter of fact. That was her name.
Right. Yeah. My friend, the stripper.
Yeah.
No, that kind of reminds me of that. But so anyway, I thought I'd drop in and say.
Oh no! Now, what reminded you that? What the
Fred's racing story.
Oh no! The stripper was a lovely young lady, very attractive, very well built, lovely lady,
and that's all nice for us, Norm. We can't see her.
No, I know that, but I suppose that. But you could tell by her voice that she was young. Also, she's been
leave her to you and Tony Nesbitt. I don't know.
No, she's been a friend for a lot of years. She's a great gal, and she's married also.
Oh, she's married.
Oh yes.
I did not know.
Oh yeah, no, she is married. Yes. Oh yes. Otherwise, I don't know what I do. I don't know what that means. I have no idea what that means.
Put on some commercials.
No. I've known her for a long time. In fact,
Just don't let Jack Hart in. That's all, right?
Okay. Well, but you think do you think he'll go nuts there?
I don't know about Jack Hart.
Okay. Anyway, it's good to talk with you,
Well,
Raj.
yeah, it's good to talk to you. I thought I'd say hi. And
I appreciate you doing that. Okay?
And the tuition bill for next term is in the mail, so.
I'll take care of it because you are my adopted son.
Thanks a lot, Norm.
Okay.
Talk to you later.
Take care. Bye-bye. And this is your friend,
Jay.
Jay. That's right. That's right. You guys just coming from a party, I understand, huh? Was it fun?
Yeah.
You didn't meet Raj there, did you? The fellow I was just talking to goes to MIT.
No, he wasn't at the party.
He wasn't at the party because oh no, that's right. He was on the Spirit of Boston, of Massachusetts with the boat. Well, it's good to see you both.
You too.
Is that the end of our conversation?
We just came to say hi. We heard Tony on the radio, but he went home.
Did you miss him? Did he leave the building before you got here?
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's his loss, for heaven's sakes. I'll talk with this guy. Here's a man in Indiana, Jim.
How you doing, Norm?
I'm doing pretty good, Jim, but depends on how high your standards are.
Oh, I'm doing just fine. Hey, Norm, got an honest question for you, and I'd like your opinion.
Okay.
And also, I was wanting to sign up for the dumb birthday game.
Oh, well, okay. Have you? Well, you have. I don't know whether we have a full slate. I'll turn you over to Brian anyway. He can tell you that. Give you the answer. I don't know. I kind of have a feeling we've already reached the peak on that. But if you want to ask me an honest question, that's good. I can answer it. Dishonest questions a lot more easily.
No.
Okay.
Honest question.
Okay.
Actually, I'd like your opinion. You know that guy Mark Russell, the political satirist who does the specials that
Yes.
are on WGBH?
That's right. Yes, he broadcasts. He films his stuff up in Buffalo, New York, for some reason. Yes, I do know who you mean. I've seen his show a lot, and I saw him live one time.
What do you think of his political humor? Do you think it's kind of offbeat or right on the nose, or?
I think a lot of it's kind of interesting because he sets a lot of his stuff to music and stands up playing the piano as he accompanies himself. I think he's sharp. Yeah, I haven't seen him for a little while now that you mention it.
Well, the reason I asked is I just taped his most recent special that aired a couple of weeks ago, and he did a pretty good job talking about things like O.J. Simpson and Haiti and the Clintons, health care, gun control, the works. I mean, the guy really knows his stuff. He's really up to date.
Oh, yeah. He usually works out of a hotel in Washington, D.C., and I guess he's been there for years and years, and he's the guy to see, if he wants political satire. In Cambridge, the one in Cambridge, that's what would that be? Oh, no, is that the one at the 710 on the dial or something like that?
Around there, yeah.
740?
It's right smack in the middle. Around 13-something. I don't think we're supposed to mention the names on the air, are we?
You can mention it on this program because I don't mind if they don't mind over there.
That's why I don't want to do it. I don't know if they mind here or not.
They might not like you calling another radio station while you're working there. See, from my viewpoint, it'd be kind of nice. I say even people who work at other radio stations listen to us.
Plus, I'm working at a cable station, too.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm working down at Arlington Cable now.
Well, that's great. You sound like you're keeping yourself very busy,
Well, I want to
Maryann.
get into broadcasting full-time. I'm still working at Children's full-time, but I want to get into broadcasting full-time.
Well, it's a high-paying glamour field. I want to tell you, you make the big bucks here, and you meet all kinds of wondrous people who love you because you're in the big time.
Well, I want to be a sportscaster. That's my dream.
Yeah, that's not as much fun as being like a weekend all-night talk host, but it's the second best thing, probably.
Well, I'm willing to do the all-nights. I'll do anything. I'm putting 26 hours in here for 3 days.
Well, I wish you good luck. And with that kind of determination, is my Hungarian ship... Oh, never mind. Hey, I got to get going, but thank you, Maryann.
Okay.
Does Tony want to talk to me on the air? Okay. That's Tony's on the line.
No, I've been just hanging here for hours on end.
Well, I don't know. I thought you were just waiting for the dumb birthday game to begin.
No, I heard Sarah on the air, and I missed
Sarah's
that.
on the air with her friend Jay.
Yeah.
They're both here.
Never mind, Jay. I wanted to talk to Sarah.
Tony, you didn't call me back.
Because I've been working on it.
Oh.
I've been working on it.
All right.
Is that the end of the conversation?
Thank you very much.
Is that the whole thing?
I don't know. How are you, Sarah?
I'm doing okay. How was your vacation?
Oh, my vacation was fantastic, which leads me to ask you this question.
What? You didn't come visit me
Though I
on
know
your way.
you have problems and scrapes with the law up in New Hampshire, you probably can be no help to me.
I got a ticket up there that I'm going to fight. But do you have any connections and just wipe it out for me?
What town?
It was Plymouth District.
Oh, Tony, I don't know anyone in Plymouth.
Okay.
There was also state police stuff, wasn't it?
Yep.
You know, do you have a big in with the
If I did, I probably wouldn't be smart to say, yeah, Tony, I know this guy named so-and-so and so-and-so, right? You know?
It was just saved me the time of going up there and fighting it, but it certainly is a very, very...
How much is the ticket for?
Oh, it was a speeding ticket, and it was like 86 something, and we weren't speeding, and we weren't doing anything else wrong also, and I'm just very determined about this because he was wrong. But of course, they probably won't see it that way. As usual, the judge would say, well, why would he lie to us? Because it was Labor Day weekend, Your Honor, that's why, and they were trying to make their quota. Maybe that's it.
No, a lot of times, though, you can go to court, and if the cop doesn't show up, you automatically win, right?
Yeah, there was maybe a mistake or two on the ticket I hopefully can get. But other than that...
You're going to fight it, aren't you?
Oh, I certainly am.
So I think if you just, if you just make good arguments, you'll be in okay shape.
I'm getting the poster board out and drawing up charts, and I'm going to... In fact, I may even call the company GM that manufactured the car and get some kind of acceleration information on this car and say it was impossible to accelerate to that speed in that amount of time. I'll bedazzle them. They'll be so sick of me, they'll hold me in contempt, and you won't see me for a long time.
There's this guy, Perot, who does great with charts and stuff. You might get him to help you out.
Get some pie charts.
He's coming to UNH, too, a couple of weeks.
Is he?
Yeah.
Well, maybe he can help me
next Saturday night, I think.
Maybe I can ask him just to pay it off. He's got a few billion.
Yeah.
Well,
I can't believe this program is being used in this manner.
Isn't this Norm Nathan looking at the wall?
No.
United we stand.
Well, that's what I just called and said, sorry, I missed you. And
Tony, I'm happy to talk to you. Will you call me someday?
I certainly will.
We can just talk to talk, not even about that.
You bet, of course.
That sounds good.
I will. Why don't you come up and cover my case?
Well, it's a little far. But you know what? If you guys go to New Hampshire again, you should stop and...
Yeah, try to get a ticket. Try to get a ticket.
A little slower.
At Portsmouth?
Try to get a ticket at Portsmouth. That's right, or Newcastle.
It's because you drive that. It's because you drive that car.
I was in a rent-a-boat.
Oh, you weren't even in your car?
No, I was in this big Chevy Caprice.
Can I tell everyone what kind of car you drive?
Yeah, you can.
I'm not sure I'm right. I think it's a Camaro.
Yes, it is.
And it has license plates that say heavy metal.
Stop me.
Right? Heavy metal?
That's my real plate.
No wonder you get bagged all the time, man. I would bag you too.
Yeah, but he wasn't driving
in
that
the car.
He was driving a different
car.
car.
They knew, though. They could just tell.
Okay.
I wasn't even driving when it happened.
Will you guys stop this?
Tony, we got news coming up in 30 seconds.
Norm already missed one before, so...
No, it's actually 26 after 2. I want to... Addie, remember Addie from Everett? She's on the line.
Is she?
Yes.
I hope she's got her gingham apron on.
Tony, I'm going to call you at 3:30.
No, please don't. I'm going to sleep.
Okay, goodbye.
Okay, bye-bye, Tony. And Addie.
Good morning, Norm. I really think we ought to set up a legal defense fund for Tony.
Yeah, that's right. We got.
Maybe we could call OJ and ask him to share some of his funds for us.
That's right. I think OJ has been doing something to raise additional funds. Wasn't he just signing autographs or doing something?
Yeah.
Maybe Tony could sign autographs. You think they'd bring any kind of money in?
I don't think so. Not in Tony's signature. They'd probably think it was a forge.
Hey, tell me what you're doing now.
Well, right now, I am resting from a full day of labor, and also all week I've been canning peaches.
Oh, Addie, I would have expected somebody like you in your gingham apron to do something like canning peaches.
Well, my daughter has this beautiful peach tree right outside her back door, and they were all ripe, and she brought me basket after basket, so I have been canning peaches till I can't stand the sight of the dang thing.
Are these nice and soft, peaches?
Yeah, fully ripe. My granddaughter took a bite of one, and the juice went right across the room and spread at her friend.
Oh, that's so romantic.
Yeah, it's the kind where the juice just runs down your chin.
Oh, yeah, because I have a peach tree that the peaches are hard all the time. I guess it's a different brand. Anyway, you can't see the peach tree right now because I haven't mowed the lawn in about 3 years. And so everything is undergrowth.
What you do next spring, take a pitchfork and loosen all the dirt around the base.
Every year we have to get a boyfriend that'll do it for us. That's what we do.
Yeah. We haven't had a boyfriend do that for about 3 years now. I've had guys who talk about lawn maintenance come up and they look at it and they can't wait to get away from us fast enough. That's the truth.
They have no farmer in them.
There's no farm at all, no.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No farmer in them. But if next spring you loosen all the dirt around the root.
Okay, we'll do
Put
that.
lime in there. It sweetens the peaches, too.
Oh, yeah.
Also, my daughter planted a lot of marigolds around the tree to help keep the bugs away this year.
Yeah.
And there wasn't one that had not one blemish on any of them.
Well, that is just so darn interesting.
I know, isn't it? But I'm so sick of canning peaches.
No, I know it.
Oh, it is an all-day process once you start, because you can't just say, oh, I've had enough today and quit.
Can't do that, no.
No, you can't.
Got all those mason jars there.
I know.
Got to fill them up, and you can't waste no peaches.
Yeah, get all those air bubbles out and all that other good stuff.
That's right, because once the peaches are canned, once they're gone, they don't come around again till next year.
Yeah,
sure.
Canned some, made peach butter and some peach jam.
Peach jam is awful nice.
Yes,
Sure.
I've come to the conclusion that Fred must lead an awfully dull life because every weekend he calls with some sexual problem.
That's right. Most of his problems have been either been accused of stealing women's underwear off their lines, or the guy who turned out this beautiful woman he took out turned out to be a guy. Oh, that's right. I never thought of that.
Every weekend. It's a sexual problem with this man.
That's right. I'd forgotten about that.
Maybe this is his. Maybe you are the outlet of his fantasies.
I don't like the way that sounded at all. I got to get going. We have news coming up. But good to talk to you, Addie, and happy peach tree picking.
Thank you kindly.
Bye-bye.
Sure, because I remember you down through the years, with different things. And I used to read your column in the Herald.
Yeah, that was my wife's column.
And your wife's column. We both you had a column.
No, I didn't. Occasionally I'd write a little freaky thing. No, she's the one. She's the columnist. She was the one who had the I column in the Herald. That was not me.
I enjoyed it, but I don't read papers much anymore, and so I really don't know.
Oh, really? What did you do? Kind of turn the world off, did you?
Well, no, I retired, and I have glaucoma, so I don't read.
Oh, I see.
I listen to the radio, and I watch television. I do that well, but it's kind of hard to read.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but I do enjoy it, and I enjoy Bob, too. I called him this week. I've been listening to you people all summer.
Well, we thank you very much for Dottie, and I thank you for the call. You're okay.
I'll call you again.
I hope you will.
I love your game you have on. I sit here and laugh.
Okay, that's good.
That dumb birthday.
That dumb birthday. It is a dumb birthday game. Thanks a lot, Dottie.
All right, dear.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, we'll go to B in Braintree. That rhymes. That's kind of a nice rhyme. B.
Yeah.
B in Braintree. Yeah, B.
B-E-A.
B-E-A. Yeah. How you doing, B?
Oh, pretty good. Just got out of the hospital.
Yeah?
Yeah, listen, I'm sorry I missed you on TV the other night. But
I wasn't on for more than 2 seconds, I think. You didn't miss much.
Well, I just happened to get a glimpse of you, kind of stocky.
Yes, I am. I'm a big fat guy. Big fat old guy.
But you know what my husband says?
Yeah?
He says, well, don't they have to have 2 chairs for Bob Raleigh?
No, he's built much better than I am. No, he's not fat.
I thought he wasn't. My husband's never talked to him, so I don't know where he got that idea. Listen, tell me, I'd love to go to the Farmstand, and even though I just got out of the hospital Thursday, I'm handicapped. I'm an amputee, and I'm in a wheelchair now. Is there any way we can park special?
Boy, I don't know. I suppose if you get there early enough, you can. I would think so, but I can't really promise because I don't know.
I have the HP plate.
You do? What's that again?
I have the HP plate, the handicap plate.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, there may be. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. See, I don't arrange those things, so I don't really know. But I would think that they would certainly take good care of you as a result of that. I would think so.
Yeah, I want.
I can't promise because I don't really know, but I would think so.
I really want to go see because this is Dave Maynard's last stand.
Yeah, of course, last year he said the same thing, but this may very well be the last time.
Yeah, because he's going to Florida.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's true. Yeah, you're right.
What's the directions to there? I come from Braintree. Where would I go?
Well, you get onto Route 93.
93.
Yeah, in other words, when you're coming up from Braintree, you're on the you're on the expressway, and you're crossing over the Central Artery.
Yeah.
And then you take Route 93 splits off of there.
Yeah.
And just follow that all the way up to exit 39.
Exit
39. Yeah, just remember for 93 it's 39, that's 93 backwards, as you know.
Oh, yeah.
And then when you get off 93, you'll see lots of signs. It's the Wilmington Shriners Auditorium in Wilmington. And it's well marked at that point. You won't have any trouble finding it.
About how long of a ride would it be up there?
Oh, let's see, from Braintree, maybe about 4. Depends on how much traffic. You shouldn't be running into much traffic today.
Yeah.
So I'd say 40 minutes, maybe something like that.
That's fine.
Yeah, 45 at the very most. I wouldn't think it'd take more than that.
I could go around in my wheelchair.
Yes, yeah. Everything is on outside.
Yeah.
Well, there are some things inside, but I think that's wheelchair accessible. I'm not sure, but most of the way you get the breakfast, the way you can get the foods and the petting zoos, all of that's all outside, and it's all level.
I listen to you every weekend.
Well, thank you.
And I love your program. You have a great wit.
Thank you. Maybe we'll see you a little bit later at the farm stand then.
Yeah, I'll go up and introduce myself.
I wish you would. I'd like that.
Yeah, I'm a little redhead.
I'll look for the little redhead in the wheelchair.
Yeah, I'm no young chicken. I'm 76.
Okay, I'll look for an old chicken then.
Okay.
Take care, B.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Bye. Okay, Eric in Boston. Hello, Eric.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hi. I was just listening to you were earlier talking about the Haiti incident there, and I have a question.
Now, don't get too heavy on us. You won't do that, will you, Eric? Because we're sort of steering away from really serious stuff. Because they do so much of that during the daytime, and a lot of other stations do it all night long, so that we kind of take things a little bit lighter.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, I just wanted to say is that, they should find some other way how to get around the situation besides just sending our fleets over there and, to figure out some type of idea how to prevent of sending the fleets over. Let's find another way how to do it.
I would hope so.
Huh?
I would hope so. I would hope we wouldn't send troops in.
Yeah, because, what's going to happen is that we're going to get the same thing that we had with the Persian Gulf thing. All our soldiers, some of them coming back a little sick from the incidents.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. No, I would hope. I was really not terribly enthusiastic about the Persian Gulf War or the Grenada thing, and I'm not at all enthusiastic about this one either. I hope they can work their way out of it. Anyway, Eric, thank you very, very much. Sometimes you go so far, it's kind of hard to back down, after you go this far. I just don't see this whole thing. But anyway, that's a whole other stuff. We'll stay away from that for now, because everybody's been talking about it, and it gets a little rough after a while. Bill in Chelsea, how you doing? Good morning, Bill.
Good. How you doing, Norm? I only can speak for a minute because I'm at work.
Okay, I'll take a minute from you, but that'll be just great.
Okay, because you were mentioning a story about the lottery just before 4 o'clock and the guy who burnt down his house.
Yes.
Well, there was a guy in South Boston a couple of years ago. I don't know if you remember. He won the mega bucks, and 1 week went by, and he got calls from financial advisors and banks and people begging for money because they're out of work. It was so bad, he took a heart attack and died.
Oh.
After 1 week.
Oh, isn't that awful? Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's funny. You don't hear too many stories about people after they win these huge sums of money. And there are there've been a lot of winners through the years here in Massachusetts. Whatever happens to them, some of them seem not to be too terribly happy.
No.
Things like that happen.
A lot of people go bankrupt too before they even collect all their winnings.
Yeah. Well, look at it this way. Now, here's this guy. This is a guy in Ohio. He gets $300,000 a year. In the past, on his regular job, he made $14,000. Now suddenly he's making $300,000 a year. Unless you know how to handle your money, it gets kind of nutty because there are certain taxes are taken out, all that, and then you want to invest it. And how do you know how to invest it if you've never ever experienced that kind of money before?
Yeah.
So it can be kind of rough. Somebody always says, boy, if I had $1 million, boy, I'd just retire and I'd do this and I would do that. But what if you really did have $1 million? Would you know how to handle that much money?
No, in fact, a kid that works down the street from where I live in Malden, he works for one of them convenience stores. He sent in his losing tickets to the Channel 7, and they drew one of his losing tickets out, and they had one of them Wild Win 20 shows, and he won the grand prize, which was $250,000 a year for life.
No kidding.
And he was only 22 years old.
And this was for life?
This was for life. It was the grand prize they had, not this summer, but last summer.
Mm.
And they just had another show this past summer with a lower prize.
You wonder whatever happened to him. And is he handling it okay, or is he going nutty, or what's happening?
I've only seen him once at the Super Stop and Shop, and he was dressed, to the nines and everything, wearing nice clothes and full cart of food and everything like that. But before that, he was just, working at the convenience store. In fact, he even actually worked the last 2 weeks, gave his guy 2 weeks' notice before he left.
Oh, really? That was very decent of him to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you just wonder, with that kind of an inflow, all that money coming to you on a regular basis, I don't know. I don't know that I can handle it.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of fun to find out, I suppose. Or maybe it wouldn't be fun. It isn't fun for some people. Mm-hmm. I wish you good luck, Bill. If you win big sums of money, let me know how you're doing with it.
In fact, friends of mine live up in Middleton. They see you all the time at the supermarket up there.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, in fact, their kids went to school with your daughter.
What? Can you tell me their names?
Yeah, Ronsky.
Ronsky, I think I do know them.
They only live a couple of streets over from you.
Okay.
And she always sees you at Shaw's, I guess it is. Do you shop at Shaw's or Demoulas or something?
Demoulas, yeah, the market basket.
Yeah.
That's the only big supermarket we have in town.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh, yeah. Tell her next time you see her to come over and say hello. She apparently has not done that. Or maybe she has without mentioning her name.
But they always go to the town meetings. They know you're from there, too.
Oh, yeah. Okay, great enough.
Okay, good talking to you, Noel.
Nice talking to you, Bill.
Right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, we have some open lines at 254-1030. We'll go to Betty in Sudbury. Hello, Betty in Sudbury.
Hi, I'm the one that you came to my kids at Kennedy and Waltham.
Oh, yes, of course.
You survived that ordeal, didn't you?
Yeah, that was another thing I was nervous about because I'd never talked to high school kids. We talked about jazz, but the kids were great, and you guys were great. It was lovely to see you and the other members of the faculty who dropped into the library that day to talk. That was nice.
Oh, I'm telling you, you were the greatest thing. I think that your biggest fans, of course, were the faculty age level.
Well, they were very nice. I'm glad to hear that because I enjoyed that. It was a lovely school.
Well, yes, it is a very nice school.
Now, are you still there, or are you?
Yes, I go there first thing every morning, and I teach 1 or 2 classes, and then I go to an elementary level.
Yes, that's right. Because I remember you did that the morning that I was there. You were taken off for another school.
Right. I'm still running. I'm still teaching over 900 kids a week.
Oh boy! Now. Did you have a good summer? Did you have a chance to have a real vacation during summertime?
Actually, I had a very busy summer. My daughter-in-law's 2 nephews were here from Mexico for 8 weeks, and I took some of the kids up to the darts program at Tanglewood for 1 week. And then I also went to Williams College, which is the MTA, that's the Massachusetts Teachers Association, Summer Institute, which was beautiful. Williams College is such a gorgeous campus.
Oh, it is lovely there, yeah.
I don't know why I never went before.
Yeah, no, it is nice. I have a friend. I guess he's sort of a nephew in a way through marriage and stuff. Anyway, he lives in Williamstown.
Oh.
So I used to go out more often to see him out there. But that part of Massachusetts, anyway, is a delightful part of the state. That whole western part.
Well, I drove out when I went out in the morning and went out the Mohawk Trail, and that is just spectacular.
Imagine.
I hadn't been driven that for many, many years.
Oh, I would imagine in about 2 or 3 weeks when the foliage is
of
abloom.
Course, they always keep talking about the foliage and the Mohawk Trail, but it was pretty in the summertime with all the green, and then when you there's like a horseshoe turn, you look down on...
I know just the turn you're talking about, yes.
It really is like something out of another world.
Yeah, it is beautiful through that whole section. Through that. What did you do at Williams?
This was the
MTA, you said.
Teachers Association.
That's right. You just
said.
They
have a it's like a leadership training conference for example, if a person's going to be a new president or treasurer of their local organization. You know, there's so many laws and new things coming up. They need to have some intensive training before they go into a new job. And then I went out just as a teacher. And what I liked about it was even just sitting down at the dining room table and talking to other teachers from all around the state was a learning experience. Plus, there was something going on all the time. I took some of the pre-retirement seminars for obvious reasons, and but I also am very interested and took the seminars on all this privatization thing, which really scares me. I'm a real believer in public education, and I'm afraid that monies are going to be siphoned off. $5,500 goes out of every local town school budget when a kid goes to another town right now, and starting in fall of 95, the charter schools, every kid that goes to a charter school, that comes out of the local school budget.
You're talking about the program where a child can what do they call that program? They go to another public. It's still a public school.
They can choose to go to a school, say in a neighboring town.
Yeah.
For example, if they lived in a poor town that didn't have a good school system.
I know they could go to. They could
choose, and the money goes with them.
Yeah. No, but I was trying to think of what that's called. Some even wealthy.
It's not the voucher system. The voucher system.
No.
They can go to a private school.
Yeah, no. I understand. This is just another public
I've kind of forgotten the terminology well used.
The word choice is somewhere in there.
Yeah.
In any event, I understand what you're saying, and I appreciate the fact that when kids are taken out of their own school, if it's a poorer school, the school loses the money because the money then goes to the wealthier school if they go into a wealthier school, and usually the wealthier ones are the ones that kids want to go to.
I was very proud of Sudbury, where I live. The school committee opted not to accept out-of-towners because we could have, like the Maynard kids could have opted to come here, and that would have done a job on Maynard.
Yeah, I can understand that. I got to get going. Suddenly it's almost 5 o'clock, and I got to get off the air, Betty.
Okay, nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you, too. Thanks. Okay, it is time to say goodbye. On behalf of Brian McKinley, our producer, and the lovely Marilyn Gorelick, and myself, the almost good-looking Norm Nathan-Person, news.
Fly you from Boston to Halifax nonstop, twice daily, and you get mileage plus or one-pass miles. Air Canada, a welcome departure.
The WBZ 24-hour traffic network bunker with his bare hands. Ladies and gentlemen, traffic guru, Sensei Jack Hart.
Till I guess about 11 o'clock. It was a lovely spot, and there was kind of a sadness in a sense because I think this will be the last one. I'm not sure, but Last one certainly headed by Dave Maynard. I can't imagine anybody else doing the kind of great job that he has done. But it had the usual petting zoos and all the food that was on display, and some great musicians who were playing lovely things. One band especially was playing the Count Basie things, and just on and on. And it was good to meet so many people who dropped by. I appreciate it. And also, Gary LaPierre was there, Peter Mead, of course, Dave Maynard, and just a whole lot of people. And all those of you who I had a chance to say hello to, I thank you very, very much. Come close. I don't want everybody to hear this. But you were just so darn nice. Thank you. Okay, hey, let's...
You know, I turn you on, and I have been falling asleep, but I want to explain quickly. That is not because you bore me. It's because I've been trying to get off coffee.
I'll say you've been trying to get off what?
Coffee. I've been trying to reduce my caffeine addiction. And as a result, I can't stay awake. I miss most of your program.
Oh, my goodness. What a nasty thing. But that's kind of nice. Do they have a group, like a Caffeine Anonymous group or anything? You can hold somebody's hand when you want to reach for coffee?
Well, I've done it alone. I've tapered off. There was a time I was drinking about 10 cups a day, and now I'm down to 1 in the morning. And but the result is I miss most of you, which I miss. And but even if I'm semi-conscious, of course now all the lines are lit up, but in that state, when I hear that rather plaintive note in your voices, you announce that there are a lot of open lines.
I know. You're really great. I really appreciate it. We got to put a little star in your forehead, because you always come to my rescue, and I really appreciate that, especially now that you're giving up coffee and all that, too.
Well, I have coffee in the morning, and about late afternoon, between 4 and 5, I have tea. And once in a great while, just for the sake of my image, I'll have some cucumber sandwiches with it.
Do you have a great image in Belmont as the lady who eats cucumber sandwiches?
No, but I do among a couple of your listeners.
That's kind of funny. I remember we used to think, when I was growing up in Everett, we used to think that the height of civility was when the crust was cut off. Not even the kind of the European style bread, which has very heavy crust, but the white bread, the kind of nothing kind of bread. If you cut off the crust and you cut the sandwiches diagonal, we thought,
that was
that was somebody who didn't even belong in Everett. They should be up on Beacon Hill somewhere with that kind of and cucumber sandwiches were on top of that.
Oh, well, my main experience with cucumber sandwiches was once when I was in the importance of being earnest, playing Lady Bracknell. And the lovely, lovely woman who was doing props was a method prop woman.
Now, how does that work?
Because when we had to have cucumber sandwiches, she had cucumber in them. They couldn't be seen from the audience, but that was the way she operated.
That's kind of funny. And when you had, like you were drinking a vodka cocktail or a scotch, was there real booze there? She didn't go that far.
There were rules against that.
Oh, okay.
But I remember I also was in the Royal... did props when I was in the royal family playing the galleon part. And I had to drink an eggnog in the first act, and she made a real eggnog. And I told her later that it was delicious but fattening, and would she please just give me skim milk after that? She did, but it hurt her.
That's kind of funny. I'd never heard of that. You know something? You've lived, and are still living a full life, an exciting life, and I really respect that.
When I stay awake, I do.
Okay.
Anyway, good night, love.
Good night, Helene. Nice to talk to you, as always. He's been here for a long time. I never met him before.
Is that right?
Yeah, a man named Ed Goldman. Turned out to be a nice guy, and I thought, how come you're liking a manager of a radio station? What's happening to you, Nathan? You're falling apart. But he seemed like a very decent guy. But I met a lot of other listeners to the station and stuff would come by, and it was a great pleasure to see them. I'm sorry that you weren't among them, June.
I wanted so much, but I really just couldn't make it. And I knew that I was going to have a difficult time in making it. But anyhow, I saw a little bit on the Channel 4, and I caught a glimpse of Dave Maynard, and I thought, now what does Norman look like? Maybe he's there.
Okay, well, actually, compared to Dave, I'm kind of an odd-looking duck. And also Gary LaPierre was there, and Peter Mead, who just works here occasionally now, but he used to work here on a regular basis. They were there, too. And a lot of good people. And I left about 11 o'clock, and the rain had held off at that point. I think it started to rain later on. I don't know whether that affected the Farmstand or not. The rain might have held off long enough. But they had a lot of really nice things.
Did you get back there again, or you?
No. I just because I left from here and went right to the Farmstand.
Oh, yeah. So you were tired.
So I was a tired little baby.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
Listen, no, wait, Norm. How did the comedy night go?
Okay, can you hold on and we'll talk after the headlines?
Oh, sure.
It was a nice night. They had a good crowd there at the Comedy Connection at Faneuil Hall. There were about 500 people, 600. They made a fair amount of money for the for Lifehouse, which was the a home for the homeless and stuff in Dorchester and things.
Right.
And it was good. There were just about gangs of people were there from broadcasting who gave their talks and stuff. And it went well. I thought it was an interesting night.
Good. What was one?
5 because, they would say, boy, this is the worst night of the year, and she said, meanwhile they're in the warm studio and she's out there.
Yeah,
and this is the worst night of the year. And let's go to Susan Warnick out at maybe 128 also.
Yeah, right in front of the studio.
Yeah, and Bruce Sprague. There was a lot of weather stuff. Harvey Leonard was kidding about his kids poking fun at him for losing his hair. Have you noticed that? His hairline seems to be going back more and more each year, but I'm not one to speak. Anyway, there were a lot of... It was a fun night, and I think for a gang of people who, we're not used to standing up on stage in a very interesting place like the Comedy Connection, which was one of the best comedy clubs around, and trying to entertain people and making them laugh. It's a tough thing to do, and I really admire the people who did that. I especially admire me because I thought I was just wonderful.
Oh, I know you were.
No, I'm making that
I
up.
bet you were. Yeah, and I'm sure you wrote your own lines, right?
Yeah, I did write everything I used.
I know you. I know you
did do that. Yes.
Yeah.
They may not have been funny, but they were original with me.
Good. That's wonderful.
Hey,
that's great.
Okay. What an audience you are, Jude. Thanks for calling.
Okay, you have a good weekend now, and listen for you next week.
Okay, thanks a million.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Joe. Floyd.
Well, you're going to be surprised. It's Ken Newman.
Hold on just a minute. Let me make changes to the marquee. Ken Newman, you're going to be with us all through the night.
I am indeed.
Oh, that's good. And you'll be playing the dumb birthday game, and we'll have just a darn much fun.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it, too. It just is such a splendid night. Anyway, what's doing so far as... notice the lead-in. It's just so clever, the way I say this.
Good
just like daytime news people. Say, what's the traffic...
Norm was right. What a silly way to make a living. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, let me go and start working on the next episode and see if I can get back on track. Closing the vault and leaving this world a little sillier than we found it. For the Shriners in Shriners Auditorium in Wilmington, Mass. The Comedy Connection, Faneuil Hall, Exxon, Sarge, the former Boston Police Department horse. Gingham Aprons, the New Hampshire State Police, Plymouth County Courthouse, the excellent charity known as Adopt a Talk Show Host. Pythons, Llamas, Shelby Scott, Bruce Schwegler, Arlene the sex phone operator, Peter Mead, Gravestones, Raj from MIT, Fred from New Jersey, Fred from Medford, Robert from Everett, Paul Elwell, Queen of the Farmstand, Ruth Clennett, Josh Binswanger, Brian McKinley, Jack Hart, Sarah Nathan, and the Dr. Ruth of WBZ, Norm Nathan. I'm Tony Nesbitt, Esquire.